Hello and welcome to the Becoming Your Highest Self podcast. I'm your host, Macy Renee, and we are going on a journey together, my friend. If you've been looking for a podcast geared towards your growth, self-awareness, navigating your brain's daily mind drama, and deep inner work to become your highest and best self, you are in the perfect place. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Becoming Your Highest Self podcast. Woo, let me just be so honest that I have recorded and deleted and recorded and deleted and recorded and deleted this probably 10 times. So I'm going to try and get through this again without deleting it. And I think the reason I'm having such a hard time today recording an episode is because things in our world are just so crazy. Like the COVID-19 brings up a lot of emotions and a lot of thoughts. And I know that I brought this up a few episodes back, but this time can be really amazing for leaning in to all of those emotions that we've been able to distract ourselves from a very long time. Like there is beauty in this if you really look to find it. But without a doubt, it is bringing up emotions in everybody, right? It's making people miss their family, miss their friends, miss routine, miss schedules, normalcy, just a lot of different things. But on the flip side, it's also, I think, awakened a lot of people spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I've been working a lot with frontline workers who need the additional emotional support. So they've been hiring me for distance Reiki sessions and one-on-one coaching and just trying to find, ways to take care of their mental health. But I think the reason why recording this podcast is or has been difficult for me this morning is because it's like, what do I even say during this time? Because the thing about it is there's no right way to be and there's no wrong way to be. You can be and feel however you want to feel. And I don't think that it is helpful to try to say that, during this time, find the positives in every single thing. Is that useful? Yeah, of course. But it doesn't have to be that way if that's not how you truly feel. And I think what I'm trying to say is that I want you to take away from this episode and this podcast, most of all, that whatever your authentic emotions are, to feel them and lean into them. Like really, really lean into them and just feel it. If you feel stressed and overwhelmed, like you're going to cry or you feel angry, instead of resisting it and trying to be the superhero that's positive Sally when you don't feel that way, don't put on this, facade of everything's great and I'm going to hold myself together. Actually lean into that negative emotion that you're feeling and just feel it. Like last night, yesterday was Easter. It was I would say it wasn't a different Easter for me personally. Like the last time that my family celebrated Easter, I was probably, you guys, like 15. I'm not kidding. Like maybe every now and then we would do a family dinner if someone decided to, but, and funny enough, like I grew up being raised in church and going every single week, but like big holidays were weeks where we didn't go to church, like Easter and Christmas. And that's kind of the opposite. Most people that maybe don't go to church all that often will go to church on those bigger holidays like Christmas and Easter. For my family, I think they thought that's really like a crowded day and we go every other week, or every single week. So we're not going to go on those bigger holidays where everything's more crowded. So for me, yesterday was just a typical day. I think the only thing different is that we probably would have seen some family, maybe gone to, a dinner at someone's house, possibly like popped in, popped out. It wouldn't have been anything formal. But, for a lot of people, they were grieving and hurting that Easter wasn't exactly what they get to have with their family. And I think that's another thing. Like, we all are experiencing, while we're all experiencing a lot of similar things in that we're self-isolating and staying at home, and most of the stores are closed and we can't do all of the things that we're used to doing. At the same time, everybody's having a different emotional experience. Like, for some people, this has brought out a lot of depression in them and anxiety. And it's likely because they're not able to have their routines. They're feeling some fear, and they might not know how to navigate and manage their thoughts right now, or they very well may not want to, right? We all get to decide how we look at this experience, what we take from this experience, and how we experience this as a whole. We get to decide that. And it's not wrong to decide that you want to be angry, sad, fearful, hurt, distressed. Like, none of those feelings are wrong. So whatever you're feeling in your body, embrace it. And if that's how you want to feel, know that that's a choice. But if you don't want to feel that way, know that there are other options. And sometimes if you can't get yourself out of that, you look to different things that will help you pull yourself out of that funk. And it can be numerous things, things that make me feel good and have made my sister and I feel good, because she's staying with us during this time, is going for really long drives. We live in Frankfurt, and there's a lot of country back roads. And when it's a beautiful day, we roll the windows down, hop in the car, roll the windows down, and we get lost. There's no GPS turned on. I just turn left, turn right, let her pick, and explore areas that I've never been, even living here in Frankfurt for 2 years. And we've had fun. We get lost. There's nobody on the back roads for the most part. We stop, we take pictures of farmland and cows and horses. And that's been really good for my soul. Another thing that's been really awesome is, taking long baths. I love that. Soaking in essential oil bath or a bubble bath. That has been very therapeutic for me. Reading. I have said for a very long time, I want to just be able to sit and read a book and not have to worry about anything else. And I'm finally able to do that. And that has been therapeutic for me. So find the things that bring you joy. I've been tuning into different life coaches and different podcasts, and just finding things that really lift me up. And it's okay. Like, when I'm sad, I just allow that to be okay. When I'm anxious, I just allow that to be okay. I think another thing that this is bringing up for me personally, and you might be feeling this too, is what do you really want? Like, when life can return back to quote unquote normal, who knows how normal will be, right? For the first few months or year after this is over. But when we can return to that, what things are you kicking out of your life? What things are you adding to your life? What things, resonate with you? Like, what's impacting you during this time that you want to be different when this is all over? I think for me, I've realized I definitely want to be reading more. I want to take more drives. Like, that's been definitely therapeutic for me. I've realized as well that I can hold my own in my business, as crazy as that sounds. Like, I think I've maybe mentioned this in previous podcasts that occupational therapy has always been the safety net for me. And so sometimes I haven't really leaned in to my business as much as I know that I can, because OT just feels like that safety net, that safety amount of income. Well, with all of this going down, I've been out of work for the last 4 weeks, and the way it works for me, there's no 401k, there's no sick days. Like, you show up, you get paid. You don't show up, you don't get paid. And with all of my kids having declined services, there's no pay. And it's really been therapeutic for me, because it's allowed me to treat every day as if my business is my full-time job. And I've realized that brings me a lot of joy, waking up every day and working on my business and serving clients and creating content and working on my programs and doing everything that I've done the last, 4 or 5 weeks has really brought me a lot of joy. And I've learned that financially, even through a pandemic, I can support myself with my business. And that's been a huge eye-opening thing for me. So I'm even in this confusing spot. And I think it's honestly why I deleted this podcast 10 times in a row, because I'm in this state where my brain is a little bit confused. Like, OT is what I went to school for, and it's what I really love what I do with the kids. But I've loved this time being at home and being able to create my days and work with clients who, are reaching out and they're like, I'm struggling. I need the mental assistance, like the mental emotional support. I need that. Being able to be that for them has been just a dream, truth be told. And I think what I'm feeling is maybe even some guilt around that of where do I go from here? Because it feels scary, right? It feels scary. It's like, am I honoring myself if I go back to work at the pace that I was before? Am I, honoring myself if I go back to work at all? Am I letting people down if I decide not to, or not to treat even through telehealth? Like, I'm struggling with it. And I was trying to think of, what do I even want to discuss on today's podcast? And truth be told, with this, I don't really have an answer. It's still, I know that people listening to this are going to be like, okay, what is the content here? But the content here is that you should feel whatever it is that you need to feel while you're in this time frame, like while we're in this pandemic. Feel what you're needing to feel and allow yourself to process it. There is no right way. There is no wrong way. Just allow yourself to lean into all of it and feel it, because I really believe that during this time, those answers that you seek will become very, very, very clear. What you want will become very, very, very clear. What you're going to allow back into your life will become clear. What you're going to eliminate when life gets back to quote unquote normal will be very clear. And you get to decide what you want that to be. And so that's a note to myself, is I get to decide what I want each day to look like during this pandemic and what I want it to look like after it's over. And there is no right or wrong way. It's just a matter of what is going to be right for me. And you have to do that for you as well. So I don't know, you guys, this has been such an eye-opening time. And I think for a lot of people, a very awakening time. I think that when this is all over, we're going to feel gratitude on a level that we haven't been able to feel as a whole in a very long time. And I think it'll be palpable. And I don't know how much you know this, but I'm here to tell you that this is true, that gratitude is the vibration that creates the results that we want in life. Everything that you want and desire in your life comes when you hold the vibration of feeling true gratitude, like in the deepest depth of your soul, when you feel that things happen for you. And I have really witnessed that during this time. In my business, I have felt such gratitude for being able to help the people coming to me. And I have been so supported, financially, mentally, emotionally, all of that, just gratitude. There's such peace in me. Like, even though the world is panicking and I probably, at some point should be panicking too, I have felt such a calm. And the universe responds to that, and energy responds to that. And so I will say that if you're in a place where you felt very at ease and calm, can you also see all the ways that the universe is supporting you because of the way that you're just trusting? I teach my clients that a lot. Just when you can be in joy and surrender and trust and gratitude, everything you could ever want opens up for you and comes right to you, as if you are this magnet, this very strong magnet. But when we are in fear and lack and scarcity, it's a lot harder for us to align with the things that we want, because those high vibrations, those big joyful emotions don't match the frequency of scarcity, fear, and lack. But at the same time, again, if you feel fear, scarcity, and lack, lean into it. Don't try to run away from it. Don't try to trick yourself out of it. If that's what you're feeling, honor it. And then know that you can decide differently at any given point. If you no longer want to feel fear, if you no longer want to feel scarcity, if you no longer want to have those negative emotional experiences, the faster you surrender to them, the faster that you can move through them. And there's deep work to be done when you feel those lower vibrations. It means that there's some thoughts that can shift. There's some thoughts that can be changed. There's work to be done, right? To take yourself from one emotion and energetic experience to another. That just means that there's a disconnect, right? With maybe how you want to feel and how you currently feel. There's just a disconnect in the vibration, and you can change that. But it becomes way easier to change that if you just honor where you're at and say, I'm afraid right now. I'm fearful right now. I feel a lot of lack and scarcity right now. I feel anger. I feel sadness. I feel depression. I feel anxiety. And don't run from that energetic vibration. Just lean into it and surrender to it. And then you can get the help that you need. There's a lot of emotional supports out there. Listening to the podcast is a form of self-care. Taking a drive is a form of self-care. If you enjoy different hobbies, go do those hobbies. That's self-care. Maybe getting into a life coaching program, hiring a life coach, whatever it is that helps you, doing telehealth through therapy. Find the things that make you feel energetically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally good, and allow yourself to have that. But also allow yourself no judgment when you aren't feeling like your normal self, because this is definitely a strange time to be alive. It's definitely odd. It's just something that we've never experienced in our lifetime. If my Oma and Opa, which are my great-grandparents, were still alive, they would probably give the best advice because they'd know how to handle this, because they went through really, really hard times. My Opa was born in 1929 and my Oma was born in 1933 maybe. So they would know how to give me really good advice, but they're not here. And in a way, I have to admit, I'm thankful that they're not, only because I would be worried sick about their mental and emotional health, being alone, making sure that nobody was coming around them that had been out and about. I would be stressed silly, worried about them because they were my heroes. So in a way, I'm thankful that they don't have to experience this and they're safe in heaven with Jesus. But I definitely miss them. And I know that they would have really good advice, to give me over the phone, because obviously I wouldn't be able to see them in person, and that in itself would kill me. So anyways, you guys, I wish that I had a specific topic and something specific that I was going to talk to you guys here. But really, I think I just needed to share with you guys that it's okay to feel what you're feeling and find the things that make you feel good. Do your self-care, reach out, lean on some people. Everybody is going through this at the same time, but everybody's emotions are a little bit different and there's no wrong way to be. So find the people who maybe have that really good spirit that you can connect with right now that makes you feel good, and, just hang on to that and ask them to help lift you up. Call your people, FaceTime them, Zoom with them. I know it's not the same as being in person. I'm definitely missing my girls and my girl time, and know that I'm missing a lot of that, being in their physical presence. And I definitely miss that. However, we will get through it, and, we'll do it together. And thankfully, we have technology. Let us all be grateful that technology has not failed us at this point, and that we still have that available so that we can connect on social media, so that we can connect through Zoom and FaceTime. Back when my great-grandparents went through this, they didn't have any of that. So I can only imagine how lonely they felt, not even being able to have that connection, socially through a social media platform. We've got to be grateful for even that. So take care of yourself. I think that that's the overall message. Take care of yourself. And if you are looking for any additional support, just know that I am here to serve. I have several different ways that I can do that. I'm offering distance Reiki sessions at 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and 90 minutes, and those have been fantastic. One-on-one coaching is also an option with weekly 60-minute coaching calls, and you get 24/7 access to Marco Polo to chat with me whenever you need to. And I also have the Becoming Her Mastermind, where I train in there 2 times a week. So Sunday I typically do a training. Wednesday we do a group Q&A. And what else do I have? Oh, my digital courses just recently launched. So there is a rewired mindset course. I think I have about 10 or 15 coupons left for that. It's originally $149, and you can use the code REWIREME and you'll get $100 off. So it's only $50 and you get lifetime access to it. So you'll go to courses.macierenee.com. And you can get that again if you use the code REWIREME. You get it for $50. Any content that I add to it ever, you get for no additional cost. And I want to say there are at least 8 videos on there. There's also a journal. It's a deep inner work journal. It's called the Surrender Journal. And you get that in the program as well. So you can go through that program as many times as you want, watch everything. You literally have it for a lifetime for only $50 if you use that coupon. And I think, like I said, I think I have between 10 and 15 coupons left for you to use for that. And then if money has been a struggle for you and you've been very triggered and you're wanting to learn how to increase your money blueprint, how to call in more money, even during the pandemic, you guys, I've had the craziest experiences that some of my clients have shared that just finished up the money program, attracting thousands of dollars even during this pandemic in the most random way possible. It got me so excited just now because I'm like, oh my God, I have to share this victory. One of my clients shared with me that she just called in 5 figures, which is huge. And during this pandemic, it's crazy because she's been doing the money work. And I have worked the last 5 weeks to get this money program developed, switched to a brand new platform, uploaded, organized, all of that. So it's officially here. The original price for that is $777. However, if you use the coupon code GRATITUDE at checkout, you get 50% off, making it $388.50. And you get access to it for a lifetime. And that coupon is only good until April 18th or until the next 10 are used. So just a heads up. It's either whichever comes first, either the 10 people that use it or April 18th. Okay. And I know that somebody's already used it. So just keep that in mind. So there's a lot of ways that I can support you during this time if you need it. And I hope that you're taking care of yourself. I will see you guys next week.